Alright, recording is in order. Same shit as usual. Wiggle, wiggle. Just tell me as soon as it starts freezing, because if the screen doesn't move too much within like 20 seconds, we have a screen freeze. Alright. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Simply Sketchy. Today we are returning to the Fable Haven book series with my friend Dave. Hello, Dave.
Hello. Thank you for having me back again.
Yeah, for once you actually came by yourself and I didn't have to kidnap you. I mean, get you. That's weird. I'm keeping that bit, I swear.
yeah. Um, so today we're doing the final, I think the fifth and final installment of the Fable Haven Book 2.
Yep.
Is it the fifth?
I think
Have we
it's
done how many?
the fifth. It's
No, because we did two of the frog. Yeah, we did two of the frog, and then the revenant, and then the minotaur, and then this. So okay, yeah. So we're doing the final, the wrap up on Fablehaven Book 2, Rise of the Evening Star. We're gonna go through the kind of pick up where we left off in terms of the adventure and the story, and then talk about the end of the book and the foreshadowing for the next book, and start talking a little bit about the beginning of the next book, but yeah, we'll do that here. So anyhow, what you're drawing here is the final phase of the Vault Guardian from the inverted tower at the end of the labyrinth, or the end of the inverted tower at the preserve.
It's though there was a little bit of a twist with this one because they had to kill this creature because it turns out that the guardian is the vault as well, was it?
Yep. The vault. So like I said in the last one, the Kendra and Warren go into the final room, the big cylindrical room with the spikes at the top, and then the bottom of the floor hundreds of feet down, and they take their the sticks and get down to the floor. The gravity sticks, the little white gravity sticks that were kept at the end of the catwalk.
Yeah, I thought they were pretty damn cool, honestly.
Yeah.
Because you did send me the last few chapters, basically the ending from the monkey scene, from the monkey part and onward.
Yep,
and
after the monkey part.
Yeah, that was actually, honestly, pretty good.
Yeah. It's a really, I think it's a really engaging, it's an engaging story. The audio book is aimed at younger listeners, and so the guy's voice is, the guy voice acting is not doing it gritty. It's definitely you can tell he's trying to do it for kids. But I read them all, and then I listened to them all with my younger son. I read them all with my older kids, and then I listened to them all with my youngest.
Yeah, it's let's put it like this. Even though the guy who did the reading wasn't up my alley, the story itself was just good enough for me to stay invested.
Yeah. It's no James Marsters.
No.
To get our Dresden Files reference in.
Beat me to it, motherfucker.
Yeah, those are, honestly, I think those are some of the best audiobooks I've listened to. And not just the stories, but I think the performances too.
Because James Marsters, he just, I don't know how to best describe it, but he just manages to deliver and just does so many of the characters justice. Like, not just Harry, but like Michael, Nicodemus, like, holy shoot.
Oh yeah.
You can see the characters in your head.
And I listened to one. I listened to a short story that Jim Butcher read himself,
Yeah.
and it's just not the same at
Nope.
all. It's not near as good. It's like you listen to it and it's like, that sounds, that
Sounds a
sounds.
bit too different.
Yeah, it's like, it's kind of off-putting. And the way he did some people's voices was so much different than the way Marsters did it.
Yeah,
And
like
it's,
Johnny Marcone became he became a lot more like this instead of the more
yeah,
cold, calculated business guy.
yeah, yeah. Oh, man, I have to, those books were so good.
Dude, like
We're still waiting on the last one. It was supposed to be out in October.
I
That's
just
okay. I don't think that he's gonna George R.R. Martin us. I
oh
think
no,
that
he won't. But I think he's having
yeah.
a bit of a break because let's be honest, a lot of shit
What, 18
happened in the
fucking
last one.
books?
A lot
Yeah,
happened in
yeah.
the last one. He's got a lot of shit to
That's
sort through.
that's true. That's very true.
So I'm not holding it against him for taking a little bit of a break in this one.
Yeah.
Like
So okay,
holy
so back to the Fable
shit.
Haven, and we'll talk about we'll talk more about Dresden later. I can almost guarantee.
Oh yeah,
Um,
we're me, you, and Disco are pretty much gonna cover that subject in their own
yeah.
dedicated Simply Sketchies as soon as Discordia is able to disgorge herself from her small boss known as a kid.
Yeah, it's it's hard. You gotta when you gotta be a parent, you gotta be a parent.
Yeah,
You know,
parenting is hard, but totally fucking worth it.
it so is, dude. Like, I do kind of miss it now. Like, there's times when I'm really grateful. It's like, oh, I'm so glad I don't have to like take him to school, like drive him to school now or shit like that. I don't have to get up and yell at the kids to get up and get dressed so they have to go to school, kind of stuff. It's really nice not to have to do that stuff. But at some, like, the lack of not doing it represents a loss of so much more.
Yeah.
Like, I had that cumbersome duty because I had smaller children that were, that were really delightful to have and to deal with at the time.
Yeah.
And dealing with them at that age was really great. Now, that's not to say they would stop being delightful as they got older, but there's always something about every age that you'll miss.
So you
when you
probably can
spend enough
tell
time around a
Davis
kid.
home alone right now, so his kids aren't
Yeah.
around to hear it.
Getting all sentimental about my fucking kids because my my son's out visiting his mom. Dude, he had to, gosh, his his flight got delayed yesterday. Oh no, so he was supposed to fly out 2 days ago.
Right.
And there was super high winds. And so his flight got delayed until basically his flight got canceled because he wasn't going to be able to make his connecting flight. So so he came home and then he had to go in the next day his flight was supposed to leave at 10, but they didn't know which gate he was going to be on. It was at, so we had to go in a couple hours early to make sure that he had everything squared away. And then he finally got on the plane at 10, got to Denver at like noon.
Mhm.
And then his flight got delayed twice in Denver, and he already had a 6-hour layover, so he ended up sitting in the Denver airport for like almost 8 hours yesterday. It's which the Denver, it's huge and there's lots of shit there, but good lord, dude. Like,
it's Denver.
that's painful to be like, that has to suck. And so he's a trooper. He got through it. He ended up getting to Minneapolis at like it was after 11 o'clock at night. So close to midnight. It's like, man, that's a long day of travel for that poor kid. So it's just because of one windstorm. But yeah, anyhow, so that's why I'm wistful about my children's, because my son's gone, and So anyhow, back to the story.
And this has been our first sideways tangent.
Yeah, we're going back to the story. So anyhow, so this is so after Kendra and Warren go in there, they find the vault. They get down in there. They know it's the final room, and the vault is a little porcelain cat with a little black cat with a ring or not porcelain, a little black cat with a key around its neck, key on a ribbon around its neck. And they thought they had to smash it first, so they get down there and get ready to smash it, and then and feel free to jump in. You listen to it, so you've got a good idea.
I mean, they first got the fancy gravity sticks and then used those to, well, almost first getting skewered on a bunch of iron stalactites, but then they get down to the kitty cat.
And once they figured out how to use the sticks, then they get down to the floor. And apparently it was pretty intuitive, which seems like that would be, I don't know. I always like see those levels in video games or play those levels. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Oh, I know exactly what game you're thinking about. It's called Gravity Rush. That scene reminded me of the game Gravity Rush. If you can find it, buy it, because
I think
the first and second one are fucking amazing.
But yeah, so it's a neat concept. And anyhow, so they get down and they find that they think they're gonna have to smash the cat. Okay, so they get down and they find the vault, and it's the little cat with the key on a ribbon, and they think, oh, we're just gonna have to smash it. And so they get ready to smash it, and Warren touches it and it comes to life, and is this like seemingly friendly little cat, and walks up to him, and then as soon as Warren takes the key off its neck, the cat gets all starts hissing at him, and Kendra's like, well, what happened? The cat was so nice. And Warren's like, no, it was never nice.
Yeah.
This cat was never nice.
This cat was always mean.
Yeah. So he takes the key and he finds a little keyhole on the end of the spear key, the bigger key for the tower. And then a sword comes out. So yeah, a sword came. The sword comes out of the spear. So now they have two weapons. They have the spear and a sword. The spear's a little bit shorter and it's weighted differently without the sword in it, but it still works pretty well. Warren kills the cat, the little cat, the first time.
Yeah. And don't feel sorry for it, guys. Don't feel sorry for it.
Yeah, it kind of hissed at him and attacked him, like swatted at him, whatever. I mean, as much as a little cat can do. So anyhow, so they kill the kitten, they kill the small cat, and it bubbles and forms into a larger cat.
Yep.
That isn't, again, not friendly, but attacks and is very quickly dispatched. And then from there, it turns into a puma.
No, it was a lynx.
Lynx. Sorry, lynx. Yeah, sorry, I meant lynx. A lynx with tufted ears. Which was kind of on the smaller side, not super big, easy to kill, like not the hardest thing. And then their next one was a bigger one.
That was the puma.
And that was actually the fourth one was just a bigger. It's like they're weird. They go through two. It's another lynx, like it's another bobcat, but it was just a bigger one.
What do you call it? A beefy lynx?
A beefy lynx, yeah.
Yeah. I did chuckle a bit when it was like the beefy lynx.
Yeah. And that's when Errol and Vanessa show up.
Yep. He was a bit more well spoken than I imagined.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Errol or Christopher Vogel or Errol.
I always thought he would have a more sleazy voice, but honestly, you know.
No, he was kind of like a carnival. Like the guy kind of made him sound a bit like a carnival barker almost. You know, like a snake oil salesman.
Yeah.
You know, like he did I think he did a good job with that.
Oh yeah, he did. It was good.
But so they come in, and they're they obviously don't have a weapon because they can't take a weapon through the monkey room. And so Warren is hurt, obviously, because Warren is bleeding from a fucking stab wound in his stomach from the Minotaur.
Yep. And the other dude, he had gotten his face punched by a hobgoblin because they choose the goblin.
I thought they chose the Cyclops.
Oh no, they chose the Cyclops. Who chose the hobgoblin again?
I don't know. Oh no, the last guys chose the hobgoblin.
Right. There you go.
Yeah, the last guys chose when Tanu and Coulter and everybody came in to rescue them at the end, they chose the hobgoblin. But Vanessa and Errol chose the Cyclops because the Cyclops had a lot of skin for Vanessa to use her blowgun.
Yes.
To take him out there. And so they did the Cyclops, they got through the monkeys, they get into the vault room, and they come down there and they're like, hey, give us the spear. And
yeah, it was like, well, and she also insisted, how many times you kill that cat?
Oh yeah.
No. How many times you kill a cat? No.
Yep, yeah, he asked how many times you kill a cat, and he was just like, no, I'm not telling you. I'm not telling you. Which, makes sense. Why should he trust her? And he shouldn't give her any information. She's obviously gonna try to backstab him. He knows exactly what she's gonna do.
Though, if there's one thing I liked, I'm happy that I noticed, is that Vanessa is a very pragmatic villain. She isn't evil for the sake of evil. She does what she has to.
No, she's an incredibly pragmatic character.
Yes.
She's for the rest of the series. Like she's basically going with who she thinks is the winning side.
Yes.
Because it's what's best for her. Right. And so she knows the Sphinx's secrets. She knows all the shit about him.
Yep.
So she gets she wants Warren to. So it's like, how many times do you kill it? And Warren at this point doesn't know. Like, they don't know how many times they have to kill this thing. He didn't think about it. And it wasn't really until Errol comes in and Warren finally admits we've killed it 4 times. And then Errol says, oh, you have to kill it 5 more times because cats have 9 lives.
Yep.
So the 5th one, the Panther, they killed the Panther.
Now, the Panther was the one that really started giving him a bit, the team a problem, because that's when the dude got axed, isn't it?
Was it the Panther or was it the first Panther or the second Panther? I thought it was the second Panther.
Yeah, it is the second Panther. I'm pretty sure it was second Panther.
Or no. Was it because there's 3. There's the first Panther was just a regular Panther. And then once they kill that, it turns into, of course, a bigger Panther. And then the 6th life is a giant panther, like the size of a horse. And it had it had a big serpent on the back of its tail.
Wait, the serpent one was on a tail?
Oh no, sorry, it's serpent from its shoulders. It's like a displacer beast. That's kind of what it looks like. That's kind of what it makes me think of a bit. It's like a displacer beast, except for it's snakes instead of tentacles.
What's a displacer beast?
Oh, that's like it's a D&D creature. It's like a cat creature with black tentacles on its back.
Very popular in Japan, I guess.
Oh, maybe. There's one in Baldur's Gate. That's kind of what so that panther's like, it's like the snake. I mean, it's got snakes instead of tentacles.
Yep. So Steve Irwin would like this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Rest in peace to a real one.
Oh yeah.
And actually, I think isn't this the one? This one they get really fucked up on.
Yeah, this is the one that it manages to bite. What was his name? The adventure dude.
Warren. That's right.
Yeah, first he gets nicked in the leg by the snake. The Vanessa almost gets hit by it. There's a lot of back and forth here, and it's
Yeah,
From what it kind of went a bit quickly for me because they suddenly managed to trick it and kill it.
yeah, yeah. They trick it with a feint and then stab it in the head or something like that.
Yeah. Though this
Um,
thing isn't exactly stupid because you can't really kill it the same way you killed it first time.
right. Oh yeah, it's learning every time.
Oh yeah, it's a clever girl.
And then so after they end up killing this one, then the next one, it doesn't have any serpents, but it has another head, and it starts spitting acid.
Right, and
And
that's the one that fucks up.
this is the one that kills Errol. So Errol gets killed during he gets the acids dumped on him,
Yeah.
and he he gets the acid dumped on him and dies, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And he is, because it like spits it on him and gets him like half his body.
Yes.
So, and it does kill him.
Oh yeah, this thing goes full xenomorph for a while.
Yeah. So that's when Errol gets killed. So now it's just Vanessa and Warren facing a giant panther, two-headed panther. And Warren is very hurt because he just got fucking bit and he's poisoned.
Yep.
And so he flies up to the catwalk and drops down with the spear. So he comes down, he's holding the spear and drops down. And is this where he kills? I'm trying to think if this is, or was that on the final one? That was on the final one.
Yeah, fuck, it was the silent one. He was.
Yeah, it was the final one when he killed it. But yeah, so they end up killing this one, and that's when Tanu shows up.
Yeah. You know, Tanu's the one who takes out the last one. The adventure guy is the one who managed to take out this one by dropping on it.
Yeah.
But then he gets really fucked up.
Yeah, he falls. So Warren goes up on the catwalk, to hide and recuperate, whatever.
Yep.
And then takes the spear and starts gradually going down towards the cat, and then drops quicker and quicker until like the last 30 feet he just drops full speed, holding the spear, and just plunges the spear into the cat and kills it.
Yep.
But then he hits the floor like a fucking sack of potatoes and just crumbles.
Yeah, as you tend to do, because he didn't go exactly slow.
Also, before that, that's the other thing too, is that Errol got hurt by falling.
Yes.
He fell down and hurt and dropped his pole, and so it went back up to the little hidey hole, or the little alcove place.
Yeah. And that meant that he didn't have a chance to escape when the kitty cat came for him.
Yeah, he didn't have a chance to escape, so he got acid spat on him. And then, Warren is fucked up. Vanessa is trying to help them. I think she's injured at this point too.
Yeah, she isn't poisoned or anything, but she has been swiped at a few times.
She's been sliced up.
She does have a moment where I think she saves Errol, but she gets a face full of acid for it.
So the ninth form. This is when Warren's super fucked up, Vanessa's really hurt, and that's when Tanu and Coulter and the other people show up.
Yeah.
And because of course they're de-zombified now, and revenantified, because Seth killed the revenant.
Yeah.
And they come in and they see everybody's fucked up, and Tanu drinks an enlarging potion and turns into a giant.
Yeah, and he just tanks that damn thing.
Yeah, he fucks this thing up.
Oh yeah, it's holy crap.
Yeah, so it's this giant ass Samoan dude just beating the hell out of this, fighting this thing. I didn't say beating the hell out of it because he took some licks. He got bit on and he got spit on.
Oh yeah.
But he survived. He was just very hurt.
Oh yeah.
And so then when they finally killed the the cat, it dissolved into a little golden kettle,
Yes.
a little like tea kettle, and Kendra touched it, which recharged it, and she took it, she poured it over Warren, and it poured out this golden glittering sand, that when it got on him, it cleaned all his wounds
Yes.
and healed him like fully to health.
Yeah,
And they couldn't use it
even
on it.
the wounds he had from being a victim of the Revenant, because I do think they
Yeah,
said
yeah,
something about becoming like an albino. That shit changed too.
yeah, because he was an albino. The Revenant turned him into an albino, and that fixed that part of him. And so he was able to return like fully to himself, and then she was able to use it to heal Tanu, and then they also healed Vanessa.
Yeah, because
Well, they healed everybody that got hurt.
what we didn't mention is
But
that Vanessa, she has this weird thing where while she is a bad guy, she isn't like comically evil because
yeah,
she takes
yeah,
she actually goes out to save Kendra, right?
yep, she does. She saves Kendra from the thing when it goes to attack her.
Yeah, and she
Um,
gets a face full of acid for like she gets messed up.
yeah, that's when Vanessa got fucked up. Is when she went to save Kendra from it. Yeah, so yeah, Vanessa is a really, well, so she's a pragmatic character. You know,
Yeah.
so they healed everybody with the Sands of Sanctity, is what
Yes.
the artifact is called. Um, and they take everybody back to the preserve, and meet up with the Sphinx, who is waiting for them. And they were going to give the artifact to the Sphinx because he's the head of the Knights of the Dawn, and he is, he's going to protect the artifacts and keep them safe from the Society of the Evening Star.
Yes.
So they call the Sphinx, and then the Sphinx also knows, he knows how to deal with Vanessa,
Mm-hmm.
because he said he told them that the sands would heal their physical maladies, but it wouldn't break the mental connection that
Yeah.
Vanessa had on them. So she had to they had to put her, like, they couldn't just lock her away in a dungeon.
No, because she could
And
use
it's not limited by
her.
range. Yeah,
Yeah.
she could use her powers to try to escape or to take advantage or take control of anybody. So the Sphinx recommended to put her in the quiet box, which I think we've talked about the quiet box in previous episodes.
Yeah, we covered it
Um,
during I think we kind of mentioned it during both
I think we
the.
did during the Olok and the Revenant.
Yeah,
Um,
we've been mentioning a lot of like if we haven't outright mentioned it, you have at least hinted at
yeah.
it.
So the quiet box, we talked about it. The quiet box is the prison where only one person can be in it at a time, and there has to be one person in it. They can't take the person out of it without putting another person into it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like a big coffin-looking thing, and the Sphinx says, that's the only way they can keep Vanessa from.
Messing with
They
their
can keep
minds.
Vanessa from doing everything, right? And so she, so the Sphinx says, because Stan and Ruth don't know who's in there. It's like, he's been in there longer than we've been here, so we have no idea who it is. And the Sphinx says, I know who it is, and I know how to deal with him. So I will take that prisoner, and we'll transport them to somebody else. So the Sphinx and Mr. Lich is the Sphinx's like butler guy.
Yeah.
So the Sphinx and Mr. Lich take the person out of the quiet box and put Kendra in the quiet box. Or not me, Vanessa, sorry. Put Vanessa in the quiet box. And they put Vanessa in the quiet box, and Vanessa told Kendra that I think she actually gave Kendra a note. She gave Kendra a note.
But she didn't give her a note. She
Or note.
basically at the end she gave her a cryptic message, which
Yeah,
Kendra.
she told her I'll be here. That's what it was. She told her. That's right. I was thinking she passed the message to her, but she told her that I'll always be your pen pal.
No, I remain your pen pal.
I
think it
remain
was.
your pen pal. Yeah. And that goes back to the Oomite wax candles, which I know we talked about earlier too.
Yep.
The candle from the fairy hive, where you can write with it, and the writing is invisible until you light the candle. And once you light the candle, you can see who you can see the writing.
Yes.
And so after the Sphinx is gone and everything, Kendra goes into the room into the cell where Vanessa was being held, and uses the candle. She lights the candle, and writing lights up from a vantage point of where Vanessa's back was to the door. And the message is tells her that she's sorry, and that she really did, she liked Kendra, but that also the Sphinx is the head of the Society of the Evening Star.
Because she was talking about how her treachery was so effective, but how basically talking about how the best way to betray someone is to play the long con.
Yep. And so the Sphinx has been collecting artifacts. So now he has 3 artifacts that they know of.
Yes.
But nobody knows that the Sphinx is the bad guy, is the head of the society.
Yeah, because he's been playing good guy for so long that people believe he's the good guy, even though he, according to Vanessa, he has been essentially making problems and then finding the solutions for them, and that way ingratiating himself with them.
Yep. And that's a really effective way to do things. I knew a guy, an engineer at one of my former jobs, that messed up a bunch of shit and then figured out how to fix up his fuck up, and got a giant raise. Got a raise and a promotion. It was like, you realize that this wouldn't have been a problem if this guy wasn't touching this shit in the first place. It's like, this is all messed up because of him.
I think you can also make another connection because, hello, have you heard about politics?
Oh, God, yeah.
Make a problem and then get the solution. Except, though, politicians don't even get to the solution part. They just keep making problems.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to go into too much on that. Otherwise, we'll get the video restricted on YouTube. So,
we got words.
Yeah. So Kendra sees that the Sphinx is actually the head of the Society of the Evening Star, and she tells her grandparents that. And so then they have to grapple with the implications of that. Like, if the Sphinx is the head of the society, then he is working with the knights and using them to gather artifacts, and he's working both sides, basically.
Yep. And those are honestly, in my opinion, they are some of the best villains if you can make them seem competent.
Yeah.
Believably, I mean, if you can make them believable, yes, I love them.
And so that's the end of that book. That's the end of book 2 of Fablehaven, the Rise of the Evening Star. The next book is called The Curse of the Shadow Plague.
Yeah.
And it is about so they learn more about the history of Fablehaven, and that Fablehaven is actually has another artifact on it. The vault was there for the Sands of Sanctity, but a previous caretaker, and we talked about him in the first one because he's the guy that got Lena out of the water.
Yeah, he's the one who managed
And
to woo a fairy, and
yeah, he wooed the nymph, or
yeah, nymph.
the naiad. It was a naiad, the water naiad, out of the water. And so and we'll talk more about him when we talk more about the next book, go into a lot more detail on that guy because he's really important in the next book. But yeah, so they find in the next one, the Shadow Plague. All of a sudden, they find out that there's another artifact on the preserve left there, and all of a sudden, a dark malady starts taking over, like the Fey creatures, and turning them evil. Like not transforming, like it makes fairies evil without transforming them into imps. So it's a plague of darkness that is taking over the preserve and slowly destroying the preserve.
It makes things break with their nature, I guess, right?
Yeah. Like, because dark fairies have a light nature, but this is so they call it the Shadow Plague because it makes and if people get hit by it, then it turns them into like a shadowy type being.
Yeah.
This is the book where, like, book 2 is really still, so book 1 is mostly the Kendra show. Like, yeah. Book 1 has Kendra doing, like, Seth does some cool stuff in there, but Kendra does most of the heroics, like the real heroics in there. Seth does some heroic stuff, Kendra does the most of it. Like, she's the saves the day. Here it is both of them. Like, Seth saved the day by defeating the Revenant.
He's the one that it's his sort of getting in the stage while Kendra still has the spotlight, because she's the one who joined in the fight for the end, but Seth was the one who essentially allowed that to happen.
Yep. And in the next book is where Seth really comes into his own. That's when they find out that his contact with the Nail and the Revenant like that touched him fundamentally with a dark nature. And so Seth is what they call a shadow charmer.
Yeah.
So he can, much like Kendra can speak fairy languages, Seth can now speak all the goblin languages and the languages of dark creatures. Seth can talk to the undead. He can talk to ghouls. He's immune to magical fear.
So he could sit down and have a chat with the Revenant if he ever return, huh?
Yeah, he could. And actually later on in the series, I think he does meet up with a Revenant-like creature and talk to him. He does meet up with a bunch of wraiths. Undead, they're kind of undead ghoul type creatures. And
so we're not talking about the family wraith from Dresden Files. Heyo.
Yeah, no.
Sorry, I just had to get one in there.
And he finds most of them in the dungeon.
Right.
That's all part of, like, he learns that he can talk to the undead, or he can hear the undead.
I would be honest, I would be freaking out about that, because holy crap, undead it's one of my favorite tropes in fantasy, but undead is just fucking scary. Holy shit.
There's a lot to this book, because they end up finding another preserve. I can't remember if this is the book. I don't think they meet the dragons in this book. They might meet the dragons in this book, in book 3. But I can't remember.
Yeah, because dragons were like these Dragons were like these wizard-like creatures, really potent magi, right?
No, no, the dragons are dragons.
Oh.
The wizards are ascended dragons.
Oh, right, right,
Because
right.
of course dragons can assume a human form, you know, for a short period of time, and so that's when they're most vulnerable. But if any dragon, and there's a certain, like the most powerful dragons ascend into being human wizards. They remain their human form, and then because they're so much more powerful, wizards are so much more powerful than dragons magically. Um, all the preserves and the treaties that create the preserves and the demon prisons were all created by wizards.
Hmm.
And there's not too many wizards left. So the ability to the ability for humanity to deal with those types of threats in a magical way is going away. In that world, because there's fewer and fewer people, like there's fewer and fewer, there's hardly any wizards left. There's not actually there's only a couple of wizards, like two, maybe one or two left.
And not many dragons are able to ascend.
Mm-hmm. And they don't, like, ascending into a wizard is like a lost art. Not everybody knows how to do it.
Gotcha.
There's a specific way to do it. It's not like you evolve like a Pokemon kind of thing, right? Like there's a process you have to go through to do it.
Yeah. I mean, if there was an evolution like a Pokemon, they'd be hit by a lawsuit by Nintendo. Maybe that's why they don't do it anymore.
Yeah, no shit. That's what happened to them all. They all got sued out of existence by Nintendo.
Oh, you cannot do that anymore.
Yeah, that sucks so much. You know, the thing I hate about that the most too is that, like, Nintendo's supposed to be like this good family-friendly company.
Yeah.
You know, supposed to kind of be like good guys. Like, stop being assholes.
Yeah, they
stop doing that.
They make some of the best family-friendly games, and they do have quality in their game. But they make EA look potentially kind every now and then.
I know, with just the level of petty bullshit they're doing. You know, like that's all the Pal World stuff is. That's what all of this stuff is. It's like, it really makes me think like they brought on,
Bowser.
Like, I don't know, like they're trying to grasp on. Well, it seems like they brought on some new executives that just want to be douchebags, but it might just be that the executives are there don't want to fucking, you know, give up on what they need to.
Oh, the thing is that Reggie...
You know, they don't want to change with the times.
Yeah, just a little side tangent. Apparently the reason why Nintendo did a lot of, like... you know, during the Wii U, they allowed a game to be sent out free with the... with the Wii. Yeah, the Wii Sports something. The bigwigs in Nintendo, they wanted that shit to be sold separately, while Reggie Fils-Aimé, you know, the meme lord himself, he insisted that no, this shit has to be free. If not, you ain't gonna sell any consoles.
Yeah,
and he was right. Turns out
totally.
Turns out that American dude who my body is ready. That dude was responsible for the majority of Nintendo's good ideas, like sales-wise.
I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it at all.
Nah.
Because if there was no game that came with the Switch, like people would be like, "Oh shit, I don't know which game to get with the Switch. What am I gonna play now? Oh, that looks rad, dude."
Thank you.
I was like, "Oh, what am I gonna play now?" And then they would just be like, we'll just get the PlayStation because we know we can play a bunch of stuff on those controllers. We don't know what this motion controller shit's all about."
Yeah. Oh, so, remember
giving
old
Wii
days
Sports
when you
with
could...
that was a smart thing to do.
Yeah, and even it's apparently, I think Reggie's had this moment where he just mentioned recently too. It's like, yeah, this is a bad idea.
Yeah.
And honestly, I agree, because if there's one thing that pissed me off is that knowing that Nintendo now, if I were, first of all, rich and stupid enough to buy myself a fucking Switch 2, Nintendo can brick my fucking Switch whenever they
Yeah,
feel like it.
yeah, I am super not on board with that, dude.
Me neither.
Like,
I no, just no. It's
yeah,
I love Zelda, dude. I am maybe one of the biggest nerds in this area for Zelda.
yeah.
I'm not fucking buying a Switch with that, dude.
Well, like, it's what Valve said to about piracy. Or
Yeah.
like, how did you guys get rid of piracy? It's like we just made it more convenient to play our games than it is to pirate.
Yes.
It's like it's
And
just easier to get the games to play it than it is to pirate us, and we make it hassle free.
yeah, you just
you
get the
know,
damn thing, download it, and Bob's your uncle.
I mean, and strictly speaking, you don't necessarily own your games on Steam either. Like they
Nope.
can get rid of your shit at any time if they are so inclined. I mean, they pulled Concord out of everyone's account.
Yeah, but that's
Um,
because Concord itself just if the
oh, I mean,
developer screws over, then Steam will just refund it. I think they got
well,
refunded.
yeah, no, but that's the point. Like,
Yeah.
you can't get away from, um, you can't get away from that digital rights bullshit.
Uh,
There's no true ownership involved with it, but I would still like, at least Steam's on my fucking computer. Like, I can use my computer for other shit, but if I have to have a Switch, like a Switch 2, I can't use that for other shit.
no,
So
you can't.
that stuff they're putting on there that makes it harder for me to play their fucking games, or even disincentivizes me from wanting to give them money in the first place because of the arbitrary and capricious nature of corporate bullshit. Yeah, no, I think I'm going to give that one a pass.
Yeah,
I don't
same.
want to be held to the nature of, or held to the whims of some corporate dipshit.
You
You
and me
know,
both. It's
because all of a sudden, then it's, oh, they don't like it that you said the F word.
word.
They don't like it. Oh my goodness, you said penis online one time. It could literally be that stupid.
When people go like that, I am usually inclined to just square my shoulders, lean in, look them dead in the eye, and then just say the word like slowly and clearly, just so they get the message.
There you go. I think right there.
And this right
So,
here, ladies and gentlemen, is called cutting corners the right way. Because yes, Trim is a lazy little shit.
well, no, it's better to have symmetry.
Oh yeah.
Like, it's really what it is. It's just making sure you maintain the symmetry, and that's all.
Quick, make some weird noises so Basic doesn't catch up that I know what symmetry is. Shit! Fuck, we video recording. Shit!
Uh,
Quick, take credit. Let's see. So yeah. Let's see. This is gonna be
yeah,
interesting. I'm gonna keep the wings and the kitty cat himself on separate layers.
that's a smart idea.
Yeah. Because doing wings is a pain in my ass.
Yeah.
Let's see. There we go. I'm not going for photorealism. Realism words.
No. This would make a rad tattoo, though.
Oh yeah, I've heard that before. And anyone
Like,
who wants to make like a tattoo of my stuff, feel fucking free, dude. If
it's
you,
like tattoo flash art. I
yep,
could see this tattooed on a dude's chest.
that'd be fucking cool. Again, anyone who wants to do that, you're free to do so. And
Some greasy hipster. He's got that tattooed across his chest.
yeah,
I
and
could see that.
the best part, if he's I can't go too far about that. It would be fucking hilarious though.
Yeah.
Let's see. So
Um.
now to do the silhouette for the kitty cat.
Is this the Shaden now, huh?
Shaden, gonna see where I get with this one. Wiggle, wiggle, everything works, and we're just 1 hour in. Hell yeah!
Yep. All
All right.
So I'll throw in just a light spoiler on the end one, is that the person from the quiet box is responsible for the
Shadow Plague.
shadow plague.
Yes, because it is quite it is mentioned
It's
because
rather convenient. Yeah.
very convenient. Like, and Vanessa, she did call out because the reason she wrote the letter is because she is, while pragmatic, she is spiteful when she gets backstabbed.
Oh yeah. Well, she knew the Sphinx was going to betray her.
Yeah.
Like in a heartbeat, she knew the Sphinx was going to betray her if she got caught. So, and so now, yeah, that's how she ended up in the quiet box.
Yes.
And the next book starts off with Kendra gets kidnapped.
Really?
Yeah, Kendra gets kidnapped at the beginning of the next book.
Well, she has proven
she
to be
gets
quite
replaced
capable.
by. Well, so she doesn't. She gets replaced by a duplicate and kidnapped, and everybody thinks that she is dead.
Oh.
So, yeah, and they're trying to use her, but she gets kidnapped and held by the society, and that's how that's like the opening of the next book. Like, that's not like the opening chapter, opening page, but that's the first thing they run into in the next book.
Yeah.
Because of course the kids, after all this shit goes on, the kids still have a regular life.
Yeah, of course.
You know, like they have to go back to their regular life and deal with the,
School.
the being a kid part of life.
Yeah.
Ooh, excuse me.
It's alright. I do worse.
And so, yeah.
Oh no, he
And that's
yawned.
kind of an interesting. They keep talking about that in the book. That's just something that comes up a lot, which I think is really interesting. It's a really interesting, I don't know, thought experiment when it comes to those like modern fantasy kind of stories. The implications of having a magical world coinciding with humanity. You know,
Yeah.
the implication that there's magical beings that, they live they live amongst us and we just can't see them.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of stuff like that, or they live in hiding amongst us, and then in several places where they have their own hidden, the parallel society kind of idea.
Just like Dresden Files.
Yeah, like Dresden Files. I mean, even Harry Potter.
Yeah,
that's exactly what that is too.
The thing about Harry Potter is I dislike that. I dislike it so immensely because the wizards are clearly superior to regular vanilla humans. Because, again, you can wreck an entire city and the wizards can just skip around and repair it overnight.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
It does seem.
Yeah, in that case, Voldemort would be actually right because it is provable. There's a provable superiority.
Yeah, no, that is true. Like, that is an interest. See, that's again, this begs the question: why is same thing in the Fablehaven universe? Why don't the dragons just take over the world? Right? Like, why don't the dragons overthrow the preserves and just decide to destroy all of humanity?
Well, the thing about the dragons is they're not human, but the wizards, again, wizards and Harry Potter's a bit different, I think.
They are. So in the Fablehaven series, they're actually held in check by the other forces. Like, it's not just because there's wizards. There's still wizards and people. There's a few of them that can deal with dragons, and while not all dragons are bound by the laws of the preserve, they still can't go around rampaging around a city.
No.
I'm pretty sure. A bazooka would still kill a dragon.
Oh yeah, that's
Right,
I'm pretty sure if it didn't kill it, it would maim it severely.
and if normal people knew about, like, oh my God, there's actually dragons, we should kill every single one of them so this never happens again.
Yes. Again,
You know?
As Dresden Files put it, humanity is the nuclear option in the supernatural world because once humanity knows you're there and they know you're scary, they're gonna get your ass. Because here's the thing about humanity: we got guns and we got numbers, and we can figure
There's
out
a
what
lot
makes
of
you
us
bleed.
and we have technology. Yeah, exactly.
Like you can solve a lot of problems with lead. And even the problems that can't be solved with lead, well, turns out quality sometimes have to bend the knee to fucking quantity.
Right.
Oh, that's kind of a thing. Oh, that's good.
But it does make it seem like, well, especially in Harry Potter. Like Harry Potter, because the magic is so just magic.
Yeah.
And because it's magic, it doesn't have to make any fucking sense.
No, the only thing that keeps the wizards actually away from being just taken over humanity is not just that they are completely separated from like Muggle quote unquote society. I mean, they don't even know what the hell a gun is. A pipe that explodes, apparently.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's a disconnection. That would be.
But it's also that
that'd be part of it.
It's a moral thing. They view it as a moral act. So it's like an incredibly British way of looking at things, like an old British way of looking at things.
I liked. See, now that's kind of like Hellboy 2.
Oh yeah.
If you saw that, the Golden Army.
Yes.
That was like the son in that, where he's like, "Hey, we should be ruling humanity, but instead we're living in the dirt." Basically.
Yep.
And then he goes to get the Golden Army to try to take over humanity, and they defeat him.
But here's the thing, though. You can reconstitute your army as much as you want, especially against medieval people. But here's the thing: the nuclear option. And if you're dumb enough to gather enough of your army in one spot, we're just gonna say, is that place really worth the fate of humanity? I don't think so.
Well, but that's the question. Do you think that it would have mattered if they dropped a nuke on the Golden Army?
It depends on how spread out they were, because those within the impact zone, like, there is just a certain part which would just get vaporized. And if the first strike fails, there's enough explosions to keep them down, at least for a while.
You think so?
And then you would just have the fucked up part of just radiation messing things up. I don't think there's enough magic.
Well, I don't think radiation would be an issue for the Golden Army. I think radiation would be the opposite of an issue, because if they became like irradiated, that would make them even more deadly.
I think it would be a problem because, again, radiation fucks with things, and I don't think.
Well, but they're magical.
Yeah, they're magical, and magic is energy, and radiation.
But I don't know. Is radiation? I guess that's what you have to establish. Does radiation impact magical energy? Does radiation disrupt, or does it function on a completely different spectrum?
If fire, fire can interfere with magic, I'm pretty sure that radiation would too.
Well, maybe. Like, how does fire interfere with magic?
My view here is not that if the Golden Army could survive a nuclear strike, then you would have a different problem. What if the Golden Army is unbound from the Crown? Not in a way where the Crown is destroyed and the Golden Army falls apart, but what if the Crown is or it's still active, but the Golden Army no longer follows its directives?
Well, they were just automatons, so they weren't capable of individual thought.
No, but they were war machines.
They were.
So you'd have a rogue rogue immortal
No,
army
but
irradiated.
what's the difference between having the army unbound from the crown and having the army bound to a fucking psychopath with the crown?
Well, now both the magical world and the mortal world are fucked
Right.
because they would.
But the
It,
end result is the same either way.
yeah, both
Right.
sides
Like
are.
the end result is
Yeah,
the same. So, but would humanity be able to stop the Golden Army?
I think so. Yes, we would. We would find if again if it doesn't work with a big boom, we would find different ways. I mean, just look at
Yeah.
Hellboy itself, right? The story of
Oh
Hellboy
yeah.
itself, it is humanity dealing with things, finding way
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
it. Hellboy is the most
Yeah.
effective way of dealing with it, but regardless, if it bleeds, we can kill it. Essentially.
Yeah. No, it's an interesting.
Yeah.
Well, because that's
decision.
what that guy was trying to do. That's what that guy wanted to do.
Yep.
Right? That's why they had to stop it, is because he was going to destroy. Now, here's the real question, though. Again, like, they take that Golden Army and they march it on fucking Glasgow. Right? They can't just. And I guess it's like you said, they'd have to determine how much they like the people in that area.
Yes.
You know? Because whether you want to pull out the Exterminatus card,
Yeah.
that's really what that is. That's full on Exterminatus.
It is. But if
when you're
again,
just nuking the area.
Yeah, because here's the thing though, humanity has never faced a threat of that level, right? Have never really faced a level where a threat, I mean, where you have to either sacrifice this entire place and all its people, or else everything will be destroyed.
Yeah. Maybe that's the real story of Hiroshima. They had to blow up the Godzilla egg before the Japanese released the Godzilla egg.
Yeah.
And that's why there's all these Godzilla movies about, because Japan had all these Godzilla movies in the works.
Yeah, they had them in the works. They weren't just movies. They were just recordings of test sites.
It's like yeah, no shit. There was recordings from the test sites.
Yeah.
They or was the promotional footage from the ad company.
Hey, Emperor Hiro. What the?
Yeah.
What was the Emperor's name?
Hirohito.
Emperor Hirohito.
Yeah.
What shall we do with all of this monster test footage? I don't know. Make a movie? I don't fucking know.
Make movies.
guys. And then another guy comes in. Guys. What about we draw cute girls with big boobs? I like that idea.
Yeah, it's $1 million idea. Patent it, sell it.
Yep. And then Nintendo comes
and the
along
rest
being
was
like,
history.
Yep. And then Nintendo comes along being like, I really like Italians.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Nintendo would be so much better off if they just get the fuck out of their own way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Isn't that like the solution to everything?
It is. It's like the executives just get in and fuck everything up.
Always.
It's like, guys, just put it down. Just calm down. Just let us have let us have something nice for once without trying to fucking squeeze it.
Yeah, nickel and diming
without trying to monetize it.
Nickel and diming is what.
Dime it so much.
It's what's basically killing the third-party gaming series, the AAA gaming.
Well, the whole nickel and diming kind of thing, that whole mentality is it's a huge bar to entry for smaller developers, for smaller companies, and it's meant to be that way.
Yep.
Like it's meant to it's an anti-competition tactic. Where they're just trying to keep anybody else from getting into the market.
Yes.
So it's the same thing with like overburdensome regulation. And they do that. They put overburdensome regulation on so many things. And don't get me wrong, there's some places that do need regulation, but there's a lot of regulation that is only there, that was there because industry lobbyists wanted it there to prevent competition from forming against them.
Yes.
So
No.
they're a little off center, but it's the other, that middle point's a little off center, but I understand. It's
Oh
just
yeah. It's
it's just to close the shape.
yes. Now I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna white it out. I said I'm gonna white it out. There you go.
I saw a demo from the latest Adobe, like one of the latest Adobe products, where it would take a 2D image and then use AI processing to convert it into a 3D model.
Right.
So you could take a 2D image, like something like this, and then say, and the demonstration the guy in the video used was he had a dragon and a knight, and they're both 2D drawn. But he's like, the knight is facing the camera and the dragon's facing this side. It's like, I want to make the knight facing the dragon. How do I do that? It's like, well, normally you'd have to redraw it from that position, but then they use the AI and it interpolates from the fucking 2D image into a 3D image.
Yeah, that's
And it's like wild.
I have my doubts it's that advanced yet. I think there's a little bit of fakery on that.
It was a demo from the latest.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna, I'm sure it's not gonna do anything super complex because they were really simple, like 2D drawings. They weren't anything super special. But I'm sure it won't be like, it probably wouldn't actually work on something like this because there's no other actual reference for it. But for a simple like poorly drawn, like 4 polygon dragon and 3 polygon knight, it's probably a lot easier to turn it into a shape than something like this. But yeah, I mean, that's something they're working on, you know.
I think they will be able to get like things that look decent in the future, but it's gonna need a lot of practice. And again, the best kind of AI work, AI illustrations, are gonna be made from like assisted by artists. Like again, the best way to use AI is not to replace shit artists. True, mediocre artists, yes. So I wouldn't be really standing much of a chance unless I started getting good. However, good artists can use AI to improve their works, to enhance their works.
It's a supplement.
Yes.
It's like another tool that you can use to supplement your work.
Yeah, just like how it's basically how I just view machines in general. It's there to enhance and help human.
Right.
And in that way, sure, not everything needs to be a fucking cyborg, but hey, some of them can be really fucking cool too. Just saying.
It's a tool.
Exactly.
I sometimes feel that neo-Luddite position on stuff like that, though, is that tool and the implications of it, well, especially with the AI, like the implications of AI is it's a return to monkey situation for me, man. Yeah. Like, I want nothing to do with the long-term effects of AI in society because I think it's going to be, I think it's going to end up being dystopian. In the short run, I think it'll end up being dystopian, and possibly in the long run as well.
Again,
but I think in the short run,
I think we're gonna end up like a situation as in the lore of Dune, with the Butlerian Jihad. Though I don't think we're gonna start making living computer people. It's more like it's gonna be heavily regulated so that the people who have the AI algorithms won't abuse them.
Yeah.
No, it all depends. It all depends on who wins.
We're in the 40K universe, and they're gonna just actually end up schisming off. All the AI adherents are gonna schism off, and they're gonna worship the Omnissiah.
Yeah.
While everybody else looks at them like fucking heretics.
Yeah,
That's
it's that that's
yeah.
gonna
Go
be a
pray to
thing.
your machine spirit, you fucking nerd. We're gonna we're gonna go over here and lube the engine while you wave your fucking sensors of incense around my gun. Sure.
What I like about 40K though is that in that universe, since because of the warp, faith
Hmm.
has power. It has uh what you believe
Yeah.
becomes reality. Sort of like the orc situation, which basically just weaponizes color
Yes.
theory and pure hype. The same thing goes for humanity as well.
Weaponized color theory. I
That's
love
the
that.
best way to describe it, okay? You can Google, dude, and see what the different colors do for orcs.
Mhm.
Here's my
Oh,
theory. Yeah,
I know. It's hilarious.
the blue color is the luckiest color, which is why the Ultramarines never fucking lose a proper battle against the orcs because, well, they're blue.
Yeah,
And why the salamanders are the best ever is because, well, they're green.
they're green. Yeah.
The best color.
Yeah. The orcs in 40K are freaking hilarious.
Again,
They're like
they're just
it's like the
pure
comedy
hype.
relief in that universe because it's such a it's the grim dark universe, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's because they're comically over the top on so many things.
Yep.
They're the best.
What I like with the orcs is that they are comedy relief between each other.
Oh
When you
yeah,
have to
totally.
face the orc, they're some of the scariest fucking things because what an orc thinks as sport and funny is ripping your arm off and then eating it in front of you and then beating you to death with the remaining stump it hasn't eaten yet. That is fun for an orc. Imagine being a
Oh yeah.
prisoner of war to an orc.
Well, I just love the names that they have for everything. Ashuta and
Stompa,
Meltas and
Shooter,
Stompas. A big Stompa. Yeah,
yep,
a big Shuta.
Goggins, Goggins, worshipping Gork and
Oh,
Mork, mate.
yeah, Gork and Mork. Yeah,
Me and the
they're
boys.
freaking. They're a fun. They're a super.
Uh, like
Um,
they have an entire they have a type of warrior called Ard Boys, which is just hard
oh
boys,
yeah.
dudes with
Yep.
shields.
Yep. Dudes with shields, and then the weird boys. The weird
Yes.
boys are the psychic ones.
Yep.
Like the actual psychic power. They're all psychic, but the weird boys are the one psychic powers guys, and then the
Yeah, they're the unfortunate bastards who they're the unfortunate bastards who are able to channel that shit.
right. Yeah, I think the orcs are hilarious.
Yeah, they're
Um,
fantastic. My favorite orc is from the 40K Space Marine game, Grimskull, because again, he is one of those orcs who are competent in a scary way because he isn't a complete idiot.
hmm
Yeah, he actually
Well,
does tactics.
yeah,
That's scary.
there were some cunning orcs for
Oh yeah.
sure. Very,
Gaskell Maguruk Thraka, he is Orc
yeah,
Jesus, and he is, oh boy, he is scary.
their models are so they're
They're
fun
good.
looking.
They're
Like
good.
they're cool because a lot of them are just kind of junked together looking shit, which
Which
makes it
is,
even better,
yeah,
right? It makes
they're Mad Max, dude. That's what they are.
yeah, exactly. They're fucking Mad Max shit. Uh,
Oh God, I, I
oh
I I love them so much. And
yeah.
again, there's this one artist. I don't remember the name. I think the name is Mosa somewhere. You can find him on Twitter. Mosa has a beautiful art style in which he is very gritty in his art style,
Uh-huh.
and oh boy, he was popular for a while until he started drawing a bit more darker things, like a woman Imperial Guard caught by orcs, and then you get to see he doesn't draw orcs ha ha funny. He draws orcs scary, like
Orcs, like D&D orcs.
no,
Like
he
orcs
makes
are meant to be.
yeah,
Like
they
Tolkien
have
orcs.
this soulless smile on him, which just, dude, I love
Oh
it.
yeah.
if I can fucking find him, I'm gonna I'm gonna give a link to Besek so he can post that. Cause like, if I find that image, if Besek think it's possible, he can show the image. You see that there's this Imperial Guard woman just under the foot of an orc, and you can just see he is just having fun. He's just doing orky things, but for her,
Yeah.
like, oh boy, she is fucking terrified, cause
Well, I
she
mean, you
knows,
would be.
yeah, cause you're dealing with something that is made out of raw muscles, and again, their idea of fun is mutilation. Because hey, rip an arm of a human, we might die. Rip an arm of a orc, he'll just get offended, punch you in the face, or headbutt you, and then take his arm
Yeah.
and get it nailed back on, stitched back on. He doesn't care. He just wants his arm back. And if not, he'll just fucking bolt on some cool claws.
Right? You just get a power claw.
Yep. Oh, it's just
Yeah.
You can like the thing is they are meant for comedic relief, but holy crap, you think chaos is scary? Ain't got shit unlike the rest of them. You can do so many cool things
Well,
with every faction, dude. Like the
it's one of those things
Eldar.
where once you get, if you get orcs on your planet, you're never gonna not have orcs on your planet
Exactly. Well, because
because
again,
they just start sporing out,
yeah.
and then they start growing more orcs, and then
And
you just have more orcs.
And the more orcs there are, the more effective, the more smarter, the more
Right.
dangerous they become. And suddenly they start making spaceships, energy weapons, cannons. Of course, there's a
Yeah.
high chance of those things failing and exploding on them, but hey, that's a bonus for an orc because hey, extra boom. They
There'll
don't,
be more of them. Yeah.
yeah, they
Just
don't
pick
have
up the
a,
teeth and keep moving.
yeah. Also, the orcs have the best kind of economy because their teeth rot away.
Teeth.
So, yeah, teeth.
That's the currency is teeth.
Yeah, I mean it's a solid economic model because hey, that shit can't be there can be no inflation because teeth doesn't last forever.
Oh,
Which reminds me, there's an entire orc clan who is just notorious for going around beating other orcs and just stealing their teeth. I don't
taking their
remember.
teeth. Yeah.
Yeah, they just what is it? The Bad Moons? I don't remember. They are
What?
a orc clan. They are basically the greedy, wealthy clan. Most of them are a bunch of fat bastards, but because they're orcs, they'll kick your ass just the same.
There was a cartoon. Shit, I can't remember which cartoon it was. There's a cartoon where the kids figured out that if they had teeth, they could get money, and so then they start stealing teeth. And
Yeah.
shit, I can't remember what show that is.
That's actually Powerpuff Girls when the green one.
Was it on the Powerpuff Girls?
Yes, because the
Oh,
green one
yeah,
figured
that's
out.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So she gets
Because they were
greedy.
taking the teeth from the guys. That's right. Because they were taking
Yeah.
the teeth from the guys they were beating up. Yeah.
Like it got so bad that she got sick and tired of waiting, so she went in and just beat the shit out of everyone.
Beat them up and take their fucking teeth.
Oh.
That's right. That show was fucking great. Like the Powerpuff Girls. It sounds like I mean, of course, it sounds gay as hell, but there's so much funny shit on that show.
Dude, I thought
there was a lot of like super gay shit, but still, so much funny
yeah,
stuff.
like him.
Him. I was just gonna say him. The devil named him. He was
Yeah. You
hilarious. And
knew
Mojo
it was the
Jojo.
devil. Yeah, Mojo. I like Mojo Jojo. He was funny. Yeah, he had a funny
Yeah.
speech pattern which I decided to emulate as a kid, and my parents hated it.
Oh, I bet, dude. Mojo Jojo.
The best episode is when he just when they make the joke of just oh yeah, his way of speaking is now becoming a fad, and he just uses it to just take over. Everybody
Oh.
speak Jojosk.
So now, did you listen to that in English or in Norwegian?
Mix. It's I started watching it in Norwegian, and as I started becoming more and more focused on and preferring English, basically just went over. Cartoon Network
Once you
has a
started
lot of
understanding the
Yes.
superiority of English. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. No, seriously, I started getting pissed off because I hated the voices in the Transformers Energon cartoon.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's like some It's like the difference between the dub and the sub,
Yeah,
right? For an anime.
quite literally, it is the dub and
Because
sub.
that's funny. I never thought of it that way. I never really thought of it that way. That's funny.
Yeah,
Because
because
like, because My Hero Academia, which I know people are not big on, but the first, I mean, I stopped watching it after a little bit, but the English dub of that sucks. The
yeah,
Japanese dub is so much better because Deku sounds like such a pussy bitch in the English version. He sounds like an actual hero in the friggin' Japanese version.
at least it fucking
And
tries.
he's not whining. He's whining. He whines so much in the English version. It just has this really plaintive, whiny plea tone to his voice all the time, and it's kind of
Yep,
it's annoying.
very. And also, there's a lot of nice character designs in Hero Academia. Bezek, you can show off a few
Yeah.
if you feel like it. You know which one. You know who. He knows.
All Might's and I. Yeah, you. What are you talking about? The bunny one? Do you want the bunny chick? Is that?
Yes. But general designs in that series. Well, I'm not a big fan of Hero. Oh crap. While I'm not the biggest fan of Hero Academy thing, I
Yeah.
like the designs and some of the ideas are pretty good. Then you have sometimes just fucking cool fights, like the first
Yeah.
proper fight between All Might and was it All for One? That was
Yeah.
pretty. That was fucking metal.
That was cool. Yeah, and dude, the fire dude when he starts fighting really hard, like the number 2 hero.
Oh yeah. Fuck. What was his name again? Endeavor.
Endeavor. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, he too. He's one of those guys. He's an interesting. This only can happen in anime. This would never happen in a Western series. Because Endeavor was a fucking child abuser.
Mhm.
Yeah, he abused
Oh, yeah.
he abused his kid.
He did.
Yeah, because he felt he could never become the top hero, so he would just start grooming his kids for that role without
Yep.
giving a shit about how they felt and how they was. His fucking wife had a mental breakdown, and after a certain point, he realized that, oh my god, I'm a monster. So he tries to make up for it, knowing that he will never truly make up, but he will fucking die trying if he has to.
Yeah, that was a good. Actually, that was a good character turn in the
Yeah.
series too. I think.
And that would never happen in a Western series because, well, it's
No, it wouldn't.
yeah, abusive fathers. They die. They always die in the West because again,
Or they
evil.
go to jail, or there's no redeeming them.
Yeah.
It can never. Well, that's because Western media is largely anti-male, which is no secret. They
Of course,
are doing
that's
so.
kinda
They try
what
to
I hinted
portray
at.
men as, yeah, they make men as stupid as possible.
Yeah, they make them as
So-
stupid as possible and as evil as possible. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. But, yeah. No, and but the Fablehaven series
Oh shit! Yeah, we're on that, huh?
is it doesn't follow those standard. It follows like traditional kind of tropes or ideas of heroism and right and wrong and good and bad.
Yeah.
It does, the series does play with some ambiguity in a way, but it does.
I mean,
There is
let's put it like this. What was her name again? Kendra? No. Yeah. She had moments too, but still, it did treat her believably like a girl because, put into dangerous situation, get scared. Yes, she does the thing that is quite expected from a scared girl.
Yeah.
Quite actually, a lot of dudes would react something like that too. I feel because
she ran and got help.
I mean, if you've been attacked by the size of a fucking bull. No.
Yeah.
The end up was
No,
the
this
size
is
of a
bigger
truck.
than a bull.
Yeah, it was the
This
size of a
thing's
fucking truck.
It's the size of a fucking truck. Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Which is wild.
I would scream like a little fucking girl. Dude, I scream like a girl if I'm forced to encounter a poisonous spider. So yes, now you know that I'd never go to fucking Australia.
I like spiders.
I hate them so much.
Oh man, nah, I like spiders.
I'm sorry, 8 legs, dude. No, just no.
Or what about scorpions?
They have claws. They have hands.
Yeah, but they also have
Semi-hands.
8 legs.
I know, it's kind of weird. They have fucking poisonous stingers. That's it. They have stingers. It's much easier
scorpions
to
are-
control. The spiders are a lot more agile, a lot faster, and they bite. While scorpions, they sting you. That's all they do. They sting you, they pinch you, and you get poisoned from the sting. Spiders bite you, and in that bite, there's also fucking digestive fluids. I don't want to be digested. Fuck spiders.
Everything that bites you, anything that bites you, puts digestive fluids on you.
Yes,
Anything
I
that
know
bites
it.
you does.
I know the
Because your
enzyme.
saliva,
Yes.
your saliva is a digestive fluid. So
Yes,
if your dog
but
bites
most
you, the dog
things-
is putting digestive fluid on you.
It
So-
does, but the digestive fluid is
So
not
that
strong
part of
enough
it-
to kill me, and a spider bite turns me into goddamn slushy. No.
What's the venom? It's the venom that kills you. It's not necessarily the, but no, yeah,
My channel,
I
spiders are evil. Fuck you.
I like spiders. I don't know. I don't know if. I'm very curious. I don't know if more people die from spiders each year or scorpions each year.
Has to be spiders, dude.
You think?
Yes, I'm pretty damn certain.
I Googled that, but I'm too busy watching you color a snake. It's fucking cool.
Yeah. I mean, we have an Australian here. He'll settle that one easily.
Yeah, no shit. Probably, I mean, it's probably spiders by a wide margin just because they're more ubiquitous than scorpions.
Yes.
But,
there's only one type of spider I don't hate, and that's the jumping spider, because for some reason, that fucking thing is adorable. Which kind of creeps me out, because spiders are scary.
You know why that thing's adorable? Because
Why?
of social fucking media. That's why.
No, I thought it was
That's
adorable
why jumping
before
spiders
social
are
media, dude.
adorable. Yeah, sure.
Well, it's fluffy and shit, and it moves like a okay, it moves like a robot. That's why I like it.
Yeah, okay, I can see that.
Yeah, robot spider.
I always like jumping spiders.
Well, there's
okay, so now here's a question. Because there's a species of jumping spider that is as large as a tarantula. Not a large tarantula, but it gets like 4 or 5 inches across.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, no.
Right? So with that jumping spider, it looks and moves just like a regular jumping spider. I don't think it actually moves as quick because it's larger, so it is a little bit more plodding. But it looks like a jumping spider. I think you're fucking cute.
Yeah, they're cute, but they can be
but they're
cute on the
giant
other
jumping
side of the
spider.
fucking planet, please. They can be cute. It's just not in front of me.
Be cute over there.
I'm content watching fucking videos, dude. I don't need that here.
That's fair.
Like, I have one house spider here, and we have an agreement: stay in the corner, eat all the bugs, and leave me the hell alone, and I'll leave you the hell alone.
Yeah.
I call her Sheila.
I don't. If I don't, the guy in the cube next to me is terrified of spiders at work. He's terrified of spiders. So if we find any spiders anywhere, then I have to dispose of them.
Oh, okay. I thought it was like
Dave.
I thought
He's
you were
like, Dave, there's a spider. There's a spider. Dave.
I thought you were like, yeah, if
So-
I find a spider, I need to throw the spider at him.
No, because I'll take him and put him outside.
Right.
Because I'm one of those faggy kind of guys.
I
don't
do
want
the
to kill
same.
the spider. I'll take it and put it outside.
Yeah. The thing is, the bonus about being Norwegian is that there aren't yet any poisonous spiders here. So, and I'm a bleeding heart at times, so I will look at a spider, I will feel revulsion and hate, but be like, but I'm so much bigger than you. And
Man,
I'll
that
feel
shading
bad.
on that cheek looks so good, dude.
Thank you. So as people probably can notice, I've used a different brush this time, and
Yeah.
currently doing a little bit else. Also, I
Yeah.
am trying to work a bit more with contrast, which is gonna have a uh, different kind of effect on the time period, but you know, the editing is Basic's problem, not mine. Which also gives us plenty of time to talk shit. I'm pretty sure
Yep.
I'm pretty sure Basic will bitch at me later, but hey, that's a price I'm willing to pay.
Yeah, I noticed you were using a different. What's this one called?
This one is called Charcoal Soft Texture, and the previous one was Dervent, which is
Okay.
these. This one, Charcoal Soft Texture, is part of Jazz's
Yeah,
line of
textures.
brushes, while the uh, Dervent, I don't know if I say it right, Dervent is part of the Procreate line. So this, when
Oh,
you get
nice.
the Procreate app, this one will already be here.
Neat.
Yes, very neat. Honestly, if you want to just have a tablet for meant for art, I really recommend this one because you do everything on the tablet. You can do everything here. Depending on skill level, you can really work some magic here. Like, there's a
Yeah.
lot of professional artists that just use a decent iPad. That's it, like an iPad Pro.
Yeah.
That's what I'm using right now. And oh yeah, that's what I've been using all this time, and I'm pretty happy with the results.
Did you just get a new one, or is this the same one?
This is the same one. I've had it since 2017.
Man, and so you've got to have an HDMI cable running from
Yes.
your pad to the wow. It
Yeah,
seems like
and
there should be an easier way to do that,
which is
right? Like,
why I've also purchased a Canvas 13, which is hopefully gonna let me be a bit more direct with the streaming, as I'm now going to be
yeah.
using an art program that is in the computer. Me and
Oh, there you
Beswick,
go.
we have some plans. We have some interesting plans, and hopefully we can. It won't be something I'll do anytime soon, as all my Simply Sketches and commissions will be done with the Procreate, the usual way I do it. But I imagine in maybe half a year, maybe a year's time, I will be comfortable enough with the commas to start working more properly with that. So maybe I'll start doing Simply
Yeah.
Sketches on it. But in case of my streams, from now on, at least that's my intention, unless I have another more pressing project I need to do. My art streams are gonna be me getting used to the combos.
That's a good way to do it.
Yep. Which means I now have to stream more often, which is something I've been neglecting for a while. But hey, we don't need to say that too loudly.
Well, I mean, it's hard to stream when you're on a friggin' boat.
I know.
So
Again,
when
the
you're okay, so when you're on the boat,
yes,
what time? Like, again, how many hours a day do you work when you're?
12 hours a day.
Okay. Okay. 7 days a week, right?
No. Oh yeah, 7 days a
No.
week, 22 days at a time.
Okay.
I don't. Here's the thing. I don't look at weeks the same way normal human beings do anymore. To me, it's 22 days of work. I have a 21 day long Monday.
Yeah. Yeah. No shit. That's a good way to put it,
Yeah.
too. Because
And
it's
then I
not like
have
there's a hump day in
no.
there.
And then I have a
You know.
single Friday, which is the day
Yeah.
before I get off the ship. Which is an instant.
That's got to be a pretty cool day.
That is the best fucking day ever.
Like, okay, so now how is the feeling at work when you're that close to
Uh,
home?
you're just
Like,
having a good time with everything. Nothing can bring you
okay,
down, ever.
there you go.
Like, unless you get sick, or even if you might have fucking cut yourself real badly, you just won't care because yeah, I'm going home tomorrow. Fuck it.
Like, yeah, it don't matter.
Yep. Doesn't matter. I'm going home tomorrow. Or there's a really big problem. Like, imagine if something really gets fucked up for you, right? Somebody spills some shit, or you have to clean up someone else's mess. Then you might get a little bit pissed off. But usually, it's not nothing that bad unless somebody screws up or you screw up. I haven't had many
Right.
of those moments, luckily. Yeah,
And
it's actually turning out pretty well.
that's
It's a
that.
slow,
Yeah, it's looking good, dude.
yeah, it's a slow burn, but we're getting there. Also, I need to be a little bit more harsher with my colors later. I'm basically working against old habits, as you know. I always do the silhouette, do it black, and just then
Yeah.
remove. Tried to start off not doing that, but of course I started getting into old habits and not noticing it until it was too late. So what this is gonna take a little extra time, but
Well, it's a
fuck it.
panther,
Yeah,
right? So it's supposed to be dark.
it's supposed to be dark, but
Just
I
kind of
can't let
put
it be.
highlight and definition in it now.
Yep,
Um, really.
yep. And since the background of this is gonna be white, I don't really have to add too many highlights on it either.
Yeah.
I'll see how we can do. This is basically a first time I do a new brush on this here, so congratulations, Dave. You're the one.
Hey. Um. Yeah. I've been the one many a time. I'm
Yep.
okay with being it again.
Yep.
That's all fine. Uh,
He's
I guess it
guilty.
depends.
Well, yeah.
Unfortunately, I've been the
What
one many
kind
a
of
time.
one? What kind of
Yeah.
the one? Of course, this one is a bit more kind-hearted. Nothing
Right.
negative.
Right.
You got, you've been through some shit, dude.
Oh, dude. Yeah. Well, you don't get to be. Um. You don't get to be my age without have gone through some shit.
Yeah.
Okay. You can get to my age without have going through some shit. Really, you actually can. You can go through my age, but your life will have been really fucking boring.
Yes.
And weird shit happening to you gives you interesting stories,
Yes.
right? And I think weird coming or having that good story helps you actually cope with having to have experienced that weird shit.
Yeah.
You know,
You
whenever
you
I have
gotta
to go through
experience shit
bullshit.
in order. Yeah, because again, I don't think you can get through until you can't reach your 40s without going through some shit. You can't.
Oh, definitely not. Yeah. No.
You gotta be the
Well,
most
I mean,
sheltered, pampered little shit in history in order to
it,
avoid that.
for sure, for sure. But it happens. You know, there are people that live normal lives. There are
That is
people
not
that live
normal.
boring lives. Um, yeah, okay, not normal. That's true. That's true. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
That's true. That is not normal. But there are people that live boring lives. I'm not gonna say that there's, but yeah, I don't know.
Eh,
I sometimes feel like my life's been relatively boring, but I just make it sound better in story.
we all do. Not
But
everything
it's,
has to be drama. Not everything has to be explosive. Most of my
yeah,
days are just boring, chilling, relaxing the best I can while trying to help out here and there. But again,
yeah. Well, it's that 80-20 rule.
yeah,
Like most of your time is just spent doing regular. Like I spend 40 hours a week at work with nothing like majorly. I mean, with work shit happening, but without anything super crazy happening in my whole life or my real life. You
yep,
know, it's just I have to deal with work shit. So that's 40 hours of each week that I'm not really dealing with a lot of personal shit, just work shit.
yes. And the same goes for me as
So
well, though. To me, what I like to think, or at least what I've been getting confirmed at work, I'm part of that 20 for a lot of the guests. That is something I'm kind of taking pride of because when I go out to the buffet, I go out with the intention of making someone smile.
yeah,
Bonus points if I make them laugh.
yeah, there you go.
So when I go out, I don't go out like the average fucking buffet chef, straight face, looking over at your food. I've gotten a little bit of shit because of that from my bosses, but hey, I get good review scores, so ha ha in your face. Point is,
Right.
I go out and I go out like a clown, but a professional one. So I don't go around wrecking shit. I don't go out being obnoxious. I tell jokes as many as I can, and I deliver them in the most deadpan fucking way you can imagine. Like, a dude stands and gets some jam for his breakfast, right? I will lean in, straight faced, and say, "This is my jam."
And then it's all awkward and shit. And he's like,
Some of them stare at me just to make sure I said it, and just the sheer, again, my deliverance of it will make them laugh. And the best part is when they get cheese or fish, I just do the most obvious fucking puns ever. Right?
you know, I'm
I'm surprised people
I'm
haven't fucking made complaints but they love it apparently.
yeah.
Guests have come
That's
to me.
that's
Yeah.
that's parts perk. I mean, that's good because you're hospitality industry. You're supposed to make the guests happy. That's good.
Yeah. And there have been so many times where guests come to me and just thank me for making their trip better. It's even in like
Yeah.
what 25% of all the reviews that come in during the year have me specifically mentioned.
No
For just
shit, dude.
Yeah, for making the trip a better experience.
Nice, dude.
Yeah. And
You
that's
should
something I
get a
take-
bonus for that.
Bonus in Norway? Are you fucking crazy?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. It's a communist country. I forgot. No bonuses there.
Or rather, the company itself, because the company is American owned, like a lot of the larger companies.
Oh yeah. Get
So-
wrecked. You're not getting a fucking bonus.
Yeah, exactly. So
Fucking American companies. Ugh.
right, American owned Norwegian drift. It's and they've been slowly removing like benefits. So my loyalty for the company is non-existent. I'm loyal to the boat and the people there.
Yeah. It's the multinational conglomerates is really what it's an American company, but it's really a multinational company
It is.
because there's those giant billion. Yeah.
Yeah, I hate it. And it's been needing to be bailed out several times because hey, I go through the net on the inside of the ship, and if you tap in WEF, oh yeah, you get a fucking search page for that.
Ugh. Well,
Though in Norway,
I don't know.
Everything about that in Norway is purely performative. We will fucking beat that drum and we will talk about that until we are inconvenienced. Like Arch Warhammer is completely correct about it. We will be all for it until we are inconvenienced. Then we will throw it out and we will become incredibly hostile to it.
A bunch of NIMBYs, a country of fucking NIMBYs, a country of not in my backyard.
Yes.
It's fine over there, just don't do it here.
It's fine over Sweden, just don't bring it over at us. Quite literally something being said in our politics. We have to make sure not to become like Sweden. It is hilarious and frustrating at the same time.
That's fair.
Yep.
That's fair. Like that's one of those just reasonable like assumptions. Well, that's one thing that because Denmark never did open their borders. They never did.
No. I mean,
let people in.
didn't you find out quite recently that they quite recently stopped something that is not?
Yeah,
really...
they just recently stopped like fucking dog sodomy in their country.
Yeah.
So
Did you guys
within the last decade, well within living memory.
Yes. It's been a decade ago since the last dog brothel was closed in Denmark.
Brothel. Oh.
Now you
That's
know why Norwegians don't give the Danes an inch. Because we know where that inch is going. And we
Right
want
over the road.
nothing with it.
Oh man, is that why there's so many American blonde women into dogs? They have a little bit of Danish descent in them. Is that what
You
they got a little
fucking
bit of Danish
know,
blood
dude.
in them, so they love their golden retrievers?
Dude, all the Norwegians went up to what?
Oh,
What was the place called? Milwaukee? Where's a lot? Minnesota?
yeah, Minnesota.
Yeah.
No, Milwaukee's in Wisconsin, but
Okay. The Norwegian
there's a lot of
enclaves, right?
Norwegian people in. Yeah,
But
there are. But
the
they're
Danes.
Midwest. They're like, yeah, they are.
Yeah,
Keep
but then
going.
the Danes was like, oh, but we want to go to California.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, the
Well,
now you know. Now you guys know.
well, that's where the home of the degenerates are. So I guess it's the right
Yeah.
place for the dog brothels.
I don't. I that is basically gonna be my assumption
Oh.
until proven wrong, and even then, I'm going to ignore the fact if it is because it might just be false information.
Yeah.
Never trust a Dane, guys. You don't know where they've been, or you can actually quite easily guess where they've been. Did you know, dude? Did you know that tourists
Oh
in
no.
Denmark are advised by traveling companies not to go into the city parks after 10 o'clock at
This.
night?
Yeah, we had that conversation already.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, that's right. Because that's how we had that when we talked about the dog brothels.
Yep. We
So
had a little bit of warm up chat with that. It's like, yeah, you want to know why I'm not surprised, Dave?
so I was doing a little reading on the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. I don't know if you've heard of that.
That's new for
Um,
me. What's that?
it's a linguistic hypothesis that if people's people's ability to think or reason about things is directly impacted by their language, or it's a direct result of their language. So, and I think they talked about that on the Sultans a while back. It was like maybe some of the reasons why Germans have a hard time understanding language or such like humor, the stereotype of that is because their language is so exacting,
Yep.
you know? So if they don't have a word for it in their language, it's because they don't have a concept for it when they
Yeah.
can't grasp the concept for it. And so,
It's why
um,
Norwegians are incredibly direct too, because again, everything is the most direct thing. Why do you think it's so hard for you guys to explain shit to me? Because when you say something, again, it's like when Besek tried to talk to me about brushes, or when he
yeah,
says texture, right? He means the texture of the image, you know, how it looks, how the fur looks, how
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
skin looks, right? That
The
texture.
visual texture. Yeah.
Exactly. Visual texture is a little bit of a deep meaning for a little bit of a deeper meaning. For me, it's surface level. When he says
Hmm.
texture, I'm thinking about the texture of these things. Texture
Hmm.
of the brush. Because
Well,
when
but they're
I
directly correlative,
yeah, because if I make like
you
that,
know?
it is a texture of the brush when I move it.
Yeah,
But that
yeah.
guy, he just managed to stick through it and put through. And like, no, you idiot, it is this. Oh, right. Less confused hurdy-gurdy noises.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just embracing that at this point. I can't I can't fight it. I've gotten a little break from it because we haven't played Valheim in a while, but I know that as soon as we get back to that shit, oh, oh
Man,
boy, the hurdy-gurdies are
I wish
coming
I
back,
had
baby.
I wish I had time to play that with you guys.
Oh, when we open a
It's just my
server, when we open a server, we will be expecting you to drop by. A
well,
guest.
I'll definitely run a character on it for sure.
Damn right.
So I have a pretty high level Valheim character. I don't know if
Oh.
he's still, but I lost all my stuff, so I could probably start. I should probably start a new one though.
Yeah, I think we're gonna start a new one as well. We're basically
Yeah.
season 2 is gonna restart everything because a lot of the mods were apparently lost, so we need to basically we're just starting over. New world, new server, new chance.
See, I never played with mods. I was just did vanilla on it.
Oh, we're like what, two
Well,
and a half autist plus bleach.
well,
So
what mods did you use?
I do not remember, but a lot of them were like for
I'm sure they're quality of life
yeah,
things.
all of them were most of them were quality of life, if
Yeah.
not all of them. Just in order to make
Yeah.
things easier and more streamlined.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Basic and Discordia doing all the technical shit. I just left them to do their own thing. I was walking around killing things in the game.
Yeah. Yeah, I like exploring in that game
Oh, I love it, dude. Dude, I
because
was running around foraging berries for half the time, and then I found
yeah,
a massive blue troll that apparently, what was it? It drafted me to the troll space program by no, a teleporting
yeah.
program by
Oh,
turning me into red
that's right.
slime paste.
He hit you with your foot with this club.
Yep.
I
And apparently, people say that's my ex-wife, so that became a meme.
I remember the first time running into one of those in that game.
That was scary.
Because the game isn't like super high graphic, like but it's very immersive.
It is, and the
And when you're running
skybox,
along in
dude.
that forest and you're like, oh, I need this wood for this, and then all of a sudden a giant fucking blue monster comes out and starts chasing you down, and you gotta run like a bitch.
Yep.
And you're like, see, and that's the thing with my high level character, right? With my high level character, I'll just fight him and kill him. It's not that big of a deal. But when you're a low level character, it's like those things are terrifying
Yeah.
because you have to use a bow if you really want to kill them. You can't one-on-one them; they'll crush you. And
Indeed.
you don't have access to a good enough shield to tank their blows or good enough armor to tank their blows. And so, yeah, when you're a little guy, they're terrifying.
Or if you play enough Dark Souls, you're gonna look at that, say, bet.
Right, yeah. I'm gonna try. Yeah, for sure. You can
I
hit and run on him. Oh,
yeah.
but that's
After being squished by enough of them, I started taking it incredibly personally. So I started seeing trolls and be like, you know, I'm gonna kill this one myself.
it's on site, bitch.
This is for all the times I've been teleported. Till below.
Yeah, yeah. That's a super fun game.
Yeah.
I did I did a lot of farming in it too. That was the other thing I like to do is make sure because I always like to have the high level food. If
Yeah.
you're gonna go out exploring, you want to make sure you have high level food so that you don't have to. You can explore longer
Yeah. Cooking
with
was
high level
fun.
food. So.
And then you have the world bosses where they were pretty damn cool too.
The yeah, yeah, yeah. The freaking what was the hard one? The dragon one killed me a few times.
I think we just got to the second world boss because we got a bit stuck in the swamp.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, the swamp! I still
The
got
third
nightmares.
one is because you have to kill the third one in order to. No wait, the third one is not. Is that the plains one or is that the dragon one? I can't remember if that's the third one or the fourth one.
We got basically fought a giant deer god. We fought a
Yeah,
giant
that's the
tree
first one.
god.
Yeah, I killed them all. I fought and killed them all.
Oh, we were once also attacked by a fucking tree.
Oh yeah,
In the
the
swamp.
tree in the swamp. Those tree things in the swamp too.
Yeah.
Yeah, those things suck, dude.
Like, dude, holy.
The plains is the worst, dude. The worst biome. When you gotta fight those little friggin' goblin guys, holy shit.
Yeah. The
Those
thing is
guys
though.
are incredibly hateful. And I haven't been to the Mistlands. I haven't played since they put the Mistlands out. So I'm kind of curious to see what that's like too.
I'm so hyped to getting back into Valheim, and I know there's gonna be a
Yeah.
lot of suffering, but here's the thing. You know those event battles, invasions and shit like that? Or when you just
Yes, dude.
when your
I
entire
hated that
tower
shit.
gets invaded by like an army
Mhm.
of marauding beasts and shit. And that
Yep.
struggle you got in order to not lose everything you made. Like we had
Yep.
several times where we just almost rage quit, but just through
Yep.
sheer perseveration, we managed to
Yep.
just fight through it. I loved those moments. Like
Dude,
this
I
stream is,
had
God, it was so good.
I had I had like a big keep that I had built in the server. We had a private server for a while, and I had a big keep that I had built in there. And like I had stone walls and everything, and it kept getting attacked by those damn goblins. Like
Yeah.
that's so we'd get the random attacks, and I had to be there. It's like because at the lower bases, when you get lower level things, if you just have spikes on the outside of your base, you know, it'll kill most things. Like
Yeah,
they
you just
won't be able
you
to
just have
get
to do
through. You can
cleanup,
just
right?
go through. Yeah, you just go through and do cleanup. Like if it's like the skeletons or the very first thing, which I can't remember what those are, but they're really weak. Oh, it's
The
the
dwarfs.
neckers. The
Oh yeah, the
Yeah.
neckers and dwarfs.
Yeah, those things. When you get attacked, but they're not that tough, right? But yeah, those stupid goblins, man. They'll smash your doors. They'll come in and destroy your shit. And so, you have to have a good, strong base. You have to have stone walls to keep those guys in, because they'll crush through wooden walls so damn quick.
Yeah.
Man, I hate those damn things. But
Yeah, and even
yeah,
then,
the invasions are rough.
they are rough, but they're so fucking cool when they happen.
Yeah,
Like,
they
again,
are. They are.
we were attacked by so much shit. Basic, just link that funny one where we all went through a goddamn. We went through to a crypt. On the way to the crypt, we were harassed by everything in the swamp, and then we had to fight to the death against skeletons and God knows what. And if you keep your eyes closed during that and most of that video, it'll sound something completely different. But we didn't really realize that until after we were done.
Like, well, this sounds so gay.
It did. Holy shit!
I love that.
God, I
It's
fucking love that
hilarious.
game. But you had, and like the when we had to fight off a massive fuck off tree, because in our swamp we had built a tower. I think we found a ruined tower and we decided to fortify it, and just monsters, draugrs, just came on all the time and tried to attack us. We had to, God, it was so cool. It was tedious when we got killed and had to walk back, but fuck.
Yeah. I never
love
built a base in the swamp. I never built a base in the swamp. I had a base in the plains because you have to have a base in the plains in order to grow wheat.
Yeah.
So I never put one in the swamp because there was just too much random shit. Like, there's always a draugr, there's always something coming to fucking attack you in the swamp. At least in the plains, it's open enough that you can avoid things.
Oh, we had two British people there, like Australian.
Did you guys fight the sea serpent?
Yes, we did.
Dude, that is one of that for real right there. This running into a sea serpent on the ocean is legit one of the most terrifying things in that freaking game.
Yeah,
especially if your boat's like low health. Oh, if your boat's low health and you're out in the middle of everything, you just got done adventuring, and you're like, oh, I just need to make it back to base. If I die here, I'm gonna lose everything.
And then the fucking son of fucking Jormungand comes out and be like, hey there, nice everything you got. It would be a shame if it all hit fucking bottom of the ocean,
right?
Bitch.
If I blew up your boat and you had to swim, but you can't swim that far.
Oh God!
That was one thing I worked up on my character. I worked up his swim distance quite a bit, or his swim skill quite a bit, because because I hated that where you get just, actually, because I like building my bases on islands.
Yes.
Is really part of it. And in order to get out to an island initially, you usually have to swim out to it. So we'll try to keep on topic on the tangent that we were on.
Yeah. Here on Trimstar Check, our tangents have tangents.
Yep. The friggin' the sailing is probably one of my favorite things.
Yeah.
That's probably one of my favorite things about that game, because the sailing mechanic is cool, but the sky is amazing. Like, the backdrop they put on that thing is amazing.
The skybox in that game is some of the most beautiful pieces of art, digital art I have seen. Every time we played that game, every single time, either of us, me, Bleach, Basic, Discord, doesn't matter. Discord, I mean, had to just take a moment and look up in the sky and be like, yeah, this is nice.
Yeah. It's beautiful. It's crazy, dude. And they just make it I don't know, the maps are so fucking huge too.
Mm-hmm.
And like exploring is so fun in that game because and now with the Mistlands out, that's a whole nother biome. Like one of the funnest things about that is the diversity of the biomes and where you
Oh.
could find like, you know, there's definitely going to be certain ones in certain places, but they're all over the place,
Yes.
right? And like if you're sailing in a certain place, you'll run into a little island in the middle of the friggin' that might be a plain or it might be a swamp. You know, you're not sure what's going to be depending where you're at.
Yeah, the world
But
generates. It's what randomly generated depending on
it's
what you choose. Sort of like a
it's
Minecraft
got a
world in a way.
seed.
Yeah.
There's a seed you can put in it, and
Yep.
so I actually found a seed. I picked a seed for my last private server that I made for myself. Actually, the one that's probably still alive for my not server, but my last private. Anyhow,
Yep.
that one I found a seed where I could get to the merchant really easy.
Really?
And the first boss, like all of the bosses are within a certain um, all the bosses are within a certain distance from like basically the starting point, so it's not super
Oh,
hard to
that's
find them
nice.
all. Like you could basically kill everything within, like you could, if you just played for like 2 hours, you could actually kill all the bosses of 2 hours of solid grinding.
Gotta kill 'em all, Valheim.
But that wouldn't be, well, some of the boss buffs are rad.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
like there's one of those boss buffs that gives you it's the third one. The third boss buff gives you so that when you're sailing, the wind is always at your back,
Yep.
no matter where you go.
All the Wind Waker
So
buff.
yeah. And so what you do is you're um, you know, if you're out sailing and your ship's kind of beat up and you don't want to stop and kill the sea serpent, then if it would normally you'd struggle with it, then you hit that, you just bounce off, you just fly away.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean, it's one of the best games I've ever played.
yeah,
There's not a
and
single
it's a super
moment that I've
small.
hated.
It's like less than a 10 gig install too.
Yes, that's the thing. It is competently made. It is.
Yeah,
God, everyone, if you want like a good, what is it? Is it like a base building survival game? Exploration.
yeah,
Guys, if you want a good game to play with friends,
yeah.
get
The open
Valheim.
world survival game.
Open fucking endorsement.
Yeah, Valheim just kicks so much ass.
Oh yeah, and it
Um,
can also be some of the most fucking stressful games ever. But holy shit! Again, you get that Dark Souls feeling, which I love, like in Elden Ring,
you you
where you
do. It sounds
struggle and then you fucking win, and fuck yeah.
there's a well, you don't have to die if you're because if you're good, you can run away from most things.
Yes.
You know, if you're lucky,
Get
you
good
can get
scrub.
away from almost anything. Um, but but yeah, because man, corpse runs suck. I hate corpse runs in any game. I hate corpse runs.
Yeah, when you die and have to go get your shit.
Yeah, going to pick up your shit after you die is fucking annoying. So it gives me, so what that makes me do in a lot of games is I over level so that I don't die.
Yep.
I don't die as much. It's probably why I'm like level 300 something in Elden Rings, because I don't want to die that much. I just want to kill shit. I don't want to die and run back as much as any more than I have to. So
I know the feeling. Like strength faith, baby. That's what I always
yep,
say.
strength faith.
I stopped using spells at this point because I found so many good fucking weapons.
Yeah.
But yeah, like,
Yeah.
I hate corpse runs. Though Elden Ring has started getting better with those, so you don't have to walk through the entire fucking map. Dark Souls was notorious for corpse runs. Holy
Yeah.
shit. Though,
Yeah,
by the
that's
way,
what
oh yeah, go
they
go
do
on.
have. I say that is one that's a good thing about Elden Ring. Like at least the boss spawner is right outside the boss door.
Yeah, it's
You know,
Some of the more grizzled Souls veterans are like, "Oh, this is too easy. It's right next to it. Oh, it's
Yeah.
stupid." Yeah, it's stupid for the moment after the boss, but before the boss is fucking necessary. So stop bitching.
Right.
I am not
Right.
going to walk that entire fucking hailing tree just to fight Melina again. Melania,
Oh
or
my god,
I
dude.
am Melania, Blade of Mikola. Yeah, didn't help you much when I fucking Blasphemous Blade spammed you to death, you fucking
Yep.
cunt.
Yep.
I don't care if it's
Yep.
cheese, I beat her on the first try. Fuck
I
you.
spammed her with Destined Death. It took me three tries, but I beat her with
First try.
the Destined Death blade.
First try,
So,
baby.
man.
Oh, I'm kind of looking forward. I haven't really. Let's see. Elden Ring games like that. I play them in fucking in periods, you could say. So there's a
Yeah,
time where
yeah,
I play very little, and then suddenly I feel like playing, and I play a lot, and then I take a break from it again. Which
yeah.
is why I'm really slow at finishing games. But again, it keeps getting me back. I play until I'm done or exhausted, and then I come back for more. And I absolutely love
Yeah,
it. Though there are people who hate it, and I don't hold it against them. Even Souls veterans who are who really dislike it, and like, for example, Rosa, she's really good at games like that, but she does
yeah.
not like Elden Ring for reasons. I mean, her favorite one is Dark Souls 2, right?
I mean,
And
she's entitled to her wrong opinion. That's fine.
yep,
Um,
so
I don't, I
I can
don't, I
see
don't, I won't
what she
hold it against
means.
her.
Yeah, I can see what she means, and again, I understand because there's a lot of the technical fighting things that wasn't brought over from Dark Souls 2, which were apparently
Yeah,
better. Again, I don't hold against it. We all have our favorite opinions. Like Basak hates Soulsborne games, or
yeah,
it's not his cup of tea.
right.
But again, just to me, it's the exploration in Elden Ring plus the accomplishment of being able to just devastate your enemies. And of course, the music. Like, my favorite theme is still the one you hear in the beginning, fighting Drick.
Yeah,
And he is lore-wise one of the weakest bastards in the entire game. He's the lowest of the rune bearers. But dear God, if he doesn't have the best quotes, the one of the coolest designs, and a fantastic freaking theme.
yeah.
Our fathers,
Oh
one
yeah,
and
that
all, bear
will
witness.
bear witness. Yeah, well,
Yeah.
well,
I mean,
get on an Elden Ring
I could
tangent
try to
again.
add a little bit of that Godric insanity to it, because you can hear the dude is fucking crazy.
Oh
He,
yeah,
he is insane.
they
Like,
did
hmm?
they did a good job. Like
They
they
did.
did. It's like that game was made with a lot of care.
Yes.
I think that you don't see because so many games seem to be made with just perfunctory decisions, like
Yeah.
just like oh we're doing this because we have to, or this is just how it's done, you
It's
know, and
made
so they
like a
don't do
Zelda
it.
game, dude. It's
It's
made
like
like a
checked
fucking
off.
Zelda game.
Right, right. So instead of just checking boxes, because that's how a lot of the AAA games feel like they're checking boxes on shit,
Yeah.
you know. So
Yeah,
yeah, you can
I
tell
fucking love it.
the whole everything was designed with a lot of care, and I can appreciate that about um, you know, I can appreciate even some of the dumber games, you know, like I bet I didn't look at Concord, but I bet it had some cool backgrounds, you know,
Yeah,
not
sure.
nowhere near as good as Elden Ring.
No. But
um
there were probably people who cared, but the problem is they were outnumbered by activists and idiots who
they're
just
outnumbered by,
hijacked it.
well, and corporate goons too,
It's not
but
just
like
that. My
I watched my
I
son.
hate corporate goons, but my worst enemies are the activists who use the skin suits,
Yeah,
because they're the ones
well
that
my
uses HR to sway corporate goons. Yeah, they didn't specify they were black, so I gave him like white wings.
yeah, yeah, I think that's totally reasonable.
Yeah. Let's see. Is
Big
there?
like bird wings.
Yep. Okay, so color. You think? What do you think? Is there any place where I could add a little bit more white? Maybe. Or
I think it looks good, dude.
yeah, I mean it is a panther, like a super
Mhm.
panther from hell.
Yeah, it's like a dark panther. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Well, I'm gonna do a lazy background so we can wrap up here.
yeah. It doesn't. Well, you know, they're flying. They're fighting in a giant cylindrical stone room,
Yep.
right? So there's not a lot. It's a featureless room. There's no way to climb the walls. You have to use the gravity pegs, the
Yep.
gravity rod, to get up and down, in and out of the place. You can't use. You can't climb the walls normally.
Nope.
Um, I think when Tanu and those guys came in, they probably used rope. Bet you could use rope to get down, but you would need a lot of it. Um,
Also, it seems
they
like
would have had
the
more time
tower
to.
had. It seems like the tower had some form of awareness to it because it wouldn't let them.
Oh,
Right.
right. Well, there's all the traps going in, and this is what we talked. I think we talked about that. There's the traps going in are meant to be defeated, but if you don't disable the traps by claiming the prize at the end, then you're gonna die. Then
Exactly.
you can't defeat the traps going out. So
Yeah. And since it's magic, I'm not saying that the tower is sentient, but it's sort of like having
yeah,
a AI. You know.
yeah, it's designed for a purpose.
Exactly.
It gets purpose built, and so it reflects that.
Yeah, sort of like how Orlok is constructed with a purpose. This beast here is constructed with a purpose. Like it
Yeah,
isn't alive, but it has a personality dedicated to its function.
yep, yep,
There you go.
yeah,
That should. I hope that does it. Like, there's much more I feel I can do at least now.
yeah. Like there's not a lot to the room,
No.
and it's all illuminated by the same. And this one was meant to be illuminated like super brightly too.
Yeah.
So because the sunstones were really bright in this room.
Yes. Let's see. Just gonna cheat a little bit. Like, I would like to do another Elden Ring video
Yeah,
one day if you feel like it. Though I don't
yeah.
think even though Godric is one of my favorite designs. Holy shit! There's so much
Jesus
shit.
Christ.
That would.
Yeah,
Oh, I
that'd be
might
like a
need.
4-hour drawing, dude. No way.
I would need a lot more practice before I do fucking Godric. I want to do Godric,
Um,
but not fucking yet, dude. Oh boy.
yeah.
I'd
Well, we
rather
still
go
need to
naked.
do.
I'd rather go naked run through the swamp in Valheim.
We still got to do the serpent, the
Oh
world
yeah.
devouring serpent. So.
Oh yeah, he is fucking badass.
So.
Oi, Serpent King. We
Family.
shall never the bitter gods. Man,
This
he
looks
is.
good, man.
Thank you. I'm really happy with this one actually. So
Yeah.
this one is a bit longer. Well, 2.5 hours, kind of standard. Let's be
Yeah.
honest. And
We had a
I,
lot of technical difficulties, interruptions of one form or another throughout the
yeah,
thing.
and
So.
had a fair bit of experimentation as well. As again, I didn't just use one new brush. I used two new brushes. Ah. Yep, I had to.
Yeah, man. I like it. So this is the last one, End of Fablehaven Book 2, Rise of the Evening Star.
Yep.
And the next Fablehaven installment we do will be the Curse of the Shadow Plague.
Yep. Also known as
Fablehaven Book 3.
3.
Yep.
Let's see.
So.
Oh, guess what, Dave?
But
Wait for it.
were you paused?
Yeah, it froze. But it froze after I finished it.
Oh, nice. Nice. Okay.
Oh, sometimes you're just fucking lucky.
Yeah,
Oh.
better lucky than good. Yeah.
Oh. Well, at least nothing changed from the moment it froze, at least.
Right. Yeah.
Well, at that point, I guess we can start locking down. Again, this has been the first time I tried something new, trying to break out of the box a little bit, at least brush-wise, trying to listen to a bit of criticisms that I finally understand. Because again, when people say words, I sometimes hear the wrong word because I
It's a
have a
jargon
bad,
mismatch.
yeah, I have a bad case of ESL. Well, with that out of the way, I would like to thank the resident guest who I keep dragging onto this and for some reason keeps coming back for more. Thank you, Dave. I always appreciate having you here.
Yeah, man, it's my pleasure.
Hell yeah. And of course, a big thank you to Robert Renato, the man whose music has been playing around in the background all this episode. Talented man, he always pumps out something new, he never stops working. And honestly, give him some love on all his channels because he makes cool Warhammer stuff, he makes cool Eldritch stuff, and he's starting to branch out to other things too. Like, he's got a lot of shit going on.
Very
And
talented dude.
very. And he is, again, the gap between what he makes and how he is still some of the funniest fucking things, right? His Go to his Twitter. The dude who makes eldritch music, dark and dreary events. And when you go to his Twitter, you see a dude who's obsessed with cute anime girls and Fumo dolls.
Well, we've all got our own thing.
Hey, at least I'm
So.
interested in Transformers. What can I do? Uh, we all got our thing. Now,
Yeah.
of course, a big thank you to the guy who has to deal with this mess of a recording, because again, technical issues, pausing. Oh boy, hope it didn't hurt too much, Pesek. Thank you very much for doing the editing, dude. I appreciate everything you do, and you get better for every single episode. Thank you. And of course, a big thank you to everyone who took time out of the day to watch or listen to this video. Thank you all very much for watching. If you like what you see, click like, comment, subscribe. I appreciate anything. Or just watch it. That's all. That's more than enough for me. This is a real good hobby. And again, if you like it, come back for more. I also do commissions. You will find the Ko-Fi link down below, or you can reach out to me on Twitter and the Discord if you got me there. And with that, another thank you to you, Dave, for joining me here. Looking forward to next time.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. So, without any ado, goodbye, everyone.
Later, folks.